Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This is Altcoin Era and this is your boy Ahmed, and today we're gonna go through the cryptoverse. So let's begin. Bitcoin crosses 71,000 US dollars as the ETF sees 880 million inflows in the best day since March. This day marked the best of inflows since March and the second highest overall since 11 ETFs went live in January. As you can see, we had a meteoric rise in ETFs. There are more and more people, more and more clients, more and more boomers buying these ETFs. Bitcoin rose over 71,000 US dollars in Asian trading hours as the data went public, adding 3% in the past 24 hours. Vitality took 378 million in inflows, the highest among counterparts. BlackRock's IBIT followed with 270 million US dollars, while Grayscale, infamous for its outflows, took 28 million US dollars. As you can see here, these are the numbers. These are the total net flows, and it was 886.6 million, almost 1 billion. Number one was BlackRock, number two was Vitality, ARK, and so on and so forth. You have last place is HODL. Here is a better illustration. The spot Bitcoin ETF total net flows. It's increased almost to the March highs. This is the volume of ETF since March. We've just literally gone to the right. I think we're just going to continue to go up in the right. This is the spot ETF volumes, and it's just going parabolic. I think this is going to be a trend that continues, and it's going to continue for a very long time. We're just in the beginning stages of a massive bull market. I think BlackRock, Vitality, and all of their counterparts have understood BTC. They have finally grasped the understanding of BTC. It's a hard asset, and we need this more than ever. Institutions are very bullish, and they're finally putting their money where their mouth is. Vitality exec says most investors should have some Bitcoin allocation. This is a big statement. Most investors should have a BTC allocation, and we've been saying this for how long? Crypto natives have been saying this the longest. And the article continues. The head of digital asset strategist at Vitality Digital Asset Management explained that most investors should have positions in BTC regardless of their market thesis. That's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. People are very bullish, and the penny finally dropped. BTC is this Western's savior for their debt-based system. BTC is a savior for this debt-based system. The Western world has woken up to the real use case of BTC. The penny has finally dropped. Mark Horn, the head of digital asset strategist at Fidelity Investment, argues investors should allocate at least a small portion of their portfolios to BTC, regardless of their investment thesis on the decentralized currency. On June the 4th, CNBC report, Horn alluded to the problem of analysis paralysis plaguing many traditional investors and asset managers when it comes to investing in Bitcoin and the digital asset markets. We've all been there. Analysis paralysis. We've all been there. You're looking at these charts. You're thinking when to buy. When should I buy? Should I just wait for a pullback? I don't know. We've all been there. But do you think the people that bought BTC at 3K care? Do you think the people that bought a BTC at 10K care? Do you think any of the folks that bought BTC at 20, 30K, do you think they care? If you hold BTC for a longer period of time, you're, I won't say guaranteed, but you're 99% away from making gains. It's been battle tested many times. We've gone up and down a series of times. We've had multiple bear markets and multiple bull markets. What kind of models do you need? It's very simple. You buy and you hold. If you're new to this channel, I do DCA Fridays. So every single Friday of the week, I DCA into BTC and Ethereum. That's it. And I come back after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years with substantial returns. It's as simple as that. It's not timing the market. It's time in the market. Bitcoin is at 71,000 US dollars. And if I zoom in, the volume is steadily increasing and the price is also going up higher. Will we make an all-time new high? We're going to find out. Or are we just still consolidating around this area? At the moment, the new mined coins are 450 BTC. Bitcoin purchases by ETF are 12,508 BTC. There is going to be a supply shock. There's not going to be enough BTC mined for all this buying pressure. And what's going to happen? There's going to be a massive supply squeeze. BTC is very similar to gold, but BTC is 10x better than gold. China's central banks have decided to buy gold, and they're buying it by the boatload. They're buying so much gold, and they're reducing their dependency on the US dollar. They're getting rid and selling their US treasuries. The world is ever so slowly moving away from the US dollar. Last year, the bank bought more gold than any other central bank in the world, adding more to its reserves than it had in nearly 50 years. The price of gold has broken out and is currently around 2,400, 2,500. It's currently up 1.28%. As you can see, we're just consolidating at this area. We've made all-time new highs. We've broken out of this massive consolidation period. China is buying more gold than ever before. Central banks around the world will notice this, and a lot of central banks and governments will start selling their US treasuries. And instead, they're going to move towards gold. It's very clear and apparent. It will take some time. These are all foreshadowing moments. Look at India. India has decided to move all their gold reserves from the Bank of England. The Bank of England has a long-standing reputation as a trusted custodian of gold reserves, which influenced India's decision to store a portion of its gold reserves over there. This significant transfer marks one of the largest movements of gold by India since 1991. It's story time, and I've got a very interesting story. It's all related to crypto. I promise you. Stay with me. I'm from East Africa. Yeah, I was born and raised in the UK. I'm Somali descent. So big up everyone from Africa, big up everyone from East Africa, and big up everyone from Somalia. Big up Chunks, Mo Farah, everyone, Dahab Sheel, big up all my countrymen. But the story is about hyperinflation. I remember as a kid, I used to go back to my country, and I remember seeing hyperinflation. I remember when I was a kid, I was around 8 years old, 9 years old. I went there to buy some sweets, candy. I remember asking my mother at that time for some money. So she gave me the $1. And I had like $1 at that time. So I just went to the vendor, and we have an exchange where you can exchange your dollars for Somali shillings. So I'm there, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, cool. I've never seen this before. This is my first time. I'm only 8 years old. So I've gone to the vendor and I said, here's the $1. And he's giving me the $1. And in exchange, I'm handed bundles of cash. And I didn't understand it. I really didn't get it. $1 should have been 1 Somali shilling. But I was given a handful of papers, a handful of Somali shillings, and I was shocked. So I bought whatever I bought. I went home, and that event stayed in my head all my life, for my entire life, it shaped the person I am today. Then BTC came along and I instantly understood it. But the Western world has never ever seen this. Has never ever seen this. They've never seen hyperinflation. Only now they're realizing, oh, like we have inflation. This is a problem. They had the luxury of not seeing prices constantly change on a day-to-day basis. I remember the candies or sweets, they kept on changing on a day-to-day basis. The valuations kept on changing. I remember seeing BTC when it was like at $5. It was at $5. And I understood BTC the minute I heard of it. I saw how fiat currency can completely destroy a country. This is a story as old as time. It's happened in the Roman Empire, the Persian Empire, the Islamic Empire, the Chinese Empire, and all the other empires in history. Fiat goes to zero. One Somali shilling equals 0.0018 cents. So it's a fraction of a dollar. So let's do the maths. Let's import $100. That will give me 57,100 Somali shillings. That's massive. I witnessed hyperinflation. I witnessed it with my own eyes. But the Western world, they can't fathom that their currency is being debased. This is the inflation calendar for the UK. We're gonna focus on the UK. America is in the same situation, but we're gonna look at the UK. We're gonna do the UK currency, the pound sterling. £100 in let's do £1,000 in 1960. January 1960, £1,000. How much would that be? In today's value, it'll be worth £31,455. 1,000. Let's look at let's look all the way to 1969 and let's try to calculate. Let's do the 1950s. This is 1954 and 1978, 1999, 1994, 2028. They keep printing money. They constantly print money. It's never ending. I'm about to show you something even more crazy and even more wild. The Somali shilling is outperforming the US dollar. Let me repeat that again. The Somali shilling is outperforming the US dollar. Since 2005, it's only gone up. It's only gone up since 2005. That means America has been printing more money than Somalia. Finally, just to conclude, I think BTC is heading much higher. I think we're going to head to 1 million or even higher. One BTC will be more expensive than your own house that you're living in. Ethereum will only go higher, and I've seen this time and time again. Hyperinflation will cause BTC to go up to astronomical numbers. But what do I know? I'm just a guy from the ends, right? Things are actually starting to heat up. Canada becomes the first G7 central bank to cut interest rates this cycle. Very interesting. They have already begun their cuts, which means the US, the UK, and Europe is very close to making cuts. I made a prediction. I said we're cutting in June. I said we're most likely going to make cuts in June. I said this maybe 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I said this. And the next FOMC meeting is in a week time. So let's see if I'm bang on the money. Well. What do we have here? Banks at risk of failure as commercial real estate loans reprice. Looks like banks are struggling at the moment to pay back these loans. And at the moment, the bank's greatest concern are Flagstar Bank and Zion. Flagstar Bank reported 113 billion assets in total CRE of 51 billion US dollars. The bank, however, only had 9.3 billion in total assets, making its total CRE exposure 553%. Remember, the threshold is at 300%. This is a bit strange, but have you noticed every time we have an incident with the banks, one of the banks are failing or some of the banks are failing, have you noticed BTC pumps? Best performers amongst large caps in May. Number one is Pepe, and it went up 132%. ENS is gone up 77%. Ondo 67%. Floki 63%. Arweave is gone up 50%. Bonk is gone up 50%. Pedal, Univert, Uniswap, Link, Render, Lido, and ETH. ETH is up there for a large cap. That's impressive. Shout out to my private members. We made very, very good gains in the month of May. So round of applause to my private members. Well done to all of you. We made some good gains, and hopefully in the month of June, we're going to make even greater gains. Join my private members. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Join my private members. Try for a month, try for 2, try for 3. Give it some time, and you're going to see great results. I'm going to put a 10% discount for a week. Join my private members. You won't regret it. I promise you. Some major news from today and yesterday. Kraken list Trump and Bowden. This is massive, massive news. Remember what I said about Bowden? Remember, but people didn't want to listen. People didn't want to listen. Number 2, Bitcoin ETF resumes inflows, and it continues its winning streak. But the point I want to emphasize is this. BlackRock aims to buy 30% of the Bitcoin supply. This is massive. This is massive, massive news. Coinbase matches Ripple with 25 million in election campaign donations. Okay, let's cut the music. Let's stop right now, because we need to really understand what just happened. BNB breaks $700. It marks an all-time new high. I was saying this to my private members, so congratulations to all of you. No one in the space was talking about BNB. No one. I scoured social media, and no one was talking about BNB. And you know what? BNB is the first from the top 10 large caps to make all-time new highs. BNB is currently at $689.40. So we're up 0.55%. We went from wick to wick. We went from here to there. We went up 4.39%. Right now, we're retracing, and we're probably going to go back to the scene of the crime. We're probably going to head back here and hopefully bounce. But this is very, very, very bullish. Ideally, what I'm looking for is a weekly confirmation. I want to see a week of candles just above the all-time high. If that happens with volume, it's going to be very, very bullish for BNB. But this is definitely bullish regardless anyway. It's the only coin out of all of these coins that made it past the all-time high. That made look at Ethereum. Ethereum still has a long way to go. From here to here, we have how much? 25%. Okay, let's look at ADA. ADA is in the top 10, and it has from here to the previous all-time high. Let me show you on the monthly. It's going to be a bit more clearer. Let me get rid of this. Look at this. From here to here, we have how much? 600%, 6x. Then we have Solana, which still, it's from here to here. We have 50% for Solana. And AVAX, we have another, I believe, 300%. But just to be accurate, 310%. Dogecoin. From here, 362%. Link. I can keep going. 171%. And finally, we have 11 digital asset exchanges on the verge of getting a license in Hong Kong. One of them is Bybit, and Bybit is one of the biggest exchanges, and they're just about to onboard mainland China, which is massive news. Once the Chinese are here, like officially here, we know they're here in the background. We know they have like a means to get BTC and crypto and Ethereum. We know, but once it becomes official and retail from the East is here, sky's the limit. We're going to wrap up this section with Vitalik. Vitalik has made a tweet. If you're new to this channel, Vitalik, and if you're new to Vitalik, he's one of the founders of Ethereum, to be fair, and he is a pioneer in the entire space. He's tweeted and said, "I'm feeling quite unhappy about this cycle's celebrity experimentation so far. Financializing as a means towards an end, I can respect if the end is worthy, such as healthcare, open source softwares, art, etc., something meaningful. Financialization as the final product, he doesn't agree, such as Mother, this new token by Iggy Azalea. I was talking about it when it was at 14 million US dollars market cap. Now it's at a whopping 100 million. CNBC have invited Gary Gensler onto the show, and funny enough, Jim Cramer is there, and he's talking about Bonk ETF, the meme coin.
Okay, now, Polkadot, Cardano, Cosmos, Immutable, Ronin, Bonk, Osmosis, Sushi Swap, My Neighbor Alice have all traded millions. I'm talking about millions of dollars this very morning. Now, should we have a Sushi Swap with maybe an ETF or the proprietary kind? Just I would think
he needs to add Mother as well.
That Bonk is a natural, and Osmosis. These are trading Gary, these are millions of dollars. These things are traded. Shouldn't we have it? Shouldn't we have some sort of product?
Let me say something more broadly about the crypto markets. Right now, without prejudging anyone, these tokens, whether they're the ones Jim listed or other tokens, have not given you the disclosures that you not only need to make your investment decisions, but also that are required by the law. It's a basic concept in our securities market. We, the SEC, tomorrow are turning 90. Happy birthday, SEC, 90. And what President Roosevelt did is he created this commission to oversee that you, the investors, get disclosure. And in the crypto markets, they aren't giving you that disclosure. And secondly, that exchanges, like here, this floor of the New York Stock Exchange, get properly regulated to protect against fraud and manipulation, and they don't trade against you. And these crypto exchanges, Jim, are doing things we would never allow this New York Stock Exchange to do. Our laws don't allow you to trade against your customers. And so you've seen the bankruptcies in this space, and there are some of the most leading lights in this field are either in jail, about to go to jail, or waiting extradition.
Okay, well, it's a suboptimal situation for them, but I'm looking at the...
But it's a suboptimal situation for investors. You're investing in a field right now that you're not getting the proper disclosure.
Agree, there's securities for people actually I know. I mean, their names. And there's nothing... You know that, too.
That's funny, yeah.
I mean, some people even in this room have their names attached to a coin for no reason. Makes no sense.
I'm sorry, you guys have coins?
No, we don't.
There's a Kramer coin?
There should be, but there isn't.
Yes, there is a Kramer coin.
I hope it's properly registered.
Well, I wasn't
Jim.
going to bring it up because now it's a pump and dump. Like, wow, Kramer coin. I was not going to bring it up, but there you go. Now,
All right. Enough of the fun and games and the trolling. He's such a troll, this guy. But I love him. He's hilarious. The S&P 500. We're currently at 5,352 points. We're up 1.15. We made all-time new highs. No surprise. To me, no surprise. But to the bears, they're very, very shocked. We're heading up much, much higher. And my ultimate target is way higher. But I won't reveal it now. BTC. Currently at $71,329. We're currently up 1.12%. We're about to break all-time new highs. But before I begin, I want to say hello to Arthur Hayes. I want to find him on Twitter. Here's Arthur Hayes. And let me just say hello to him. When's his last tweet? He reposted. When is his last tweet? Let me find his last tweet. There we go. Picture perfect. Save as, save. Okay, media. My friend Arthur, thank you, my friend. I appreciate everything. What's the score now? 3-0? 3-0. So far, our inverse correlation of Arthur Hayes is working. So here we have it. My friend's back. Arthur Hayes. Well. If you don't know me, and this is your first time you ever met me, I've always counter traded Arthur Hayes. I've always done it. I think there's many reasons why I've done a counter trade on Arthur. First, I believe he manipulates markets. He pays some of these articles to write stuff for him. So wherever he writes or wherever he puts out there, I always counter trade Arthur Hayes. That's how I've always been. And I made another video where he was saying that we're going to have a mega crash and BTC is going to go all the way down to 30,000. Yet it didn't go to 30,000. I counter traded him and I bought more. So in this article, he's saying that we're going to see a bounce and the correction is over. The correction is over and we're going to see a slow grind higher. BTC will likely trade in a range between 60,000 and 70,000 in the few coming months. And he sounds quite bearish. So since he said this, I think we're going to go and make all-time new highs. BTC needs to break this area, the previous all-time high, which was $73,706. That's what we need to do. But what is very, very important and pivotal is that we need to hold above $71,209. That's what we need to do. We need to hold above this, form it as support, and then head up higher. If it holds above 71,000, then we're definitely going to go up higher. Remember the saying, what they said, sell in May and go away? Not this time. Not this time. Ethereum price targets currently at $3,881.50. We're up 1.81%. We're heading up higher. I think we're going to definitely get to all-time highs. The ETF is going to come out this week, I believe, or next week. I think it's coming out next week, the ETF. And you know what that means? Boomers are going to push this coin to astronomical numbers. ADA is in struggle street. We have AVAX in struggle street. We have Dogecoin still consolidating. XRP consolidating. DOT is consolidating. Link likewise is doing the same. And I'm going to give a small little thesis what I believe is going on. I think whales, institutions, are accumulating these coins. And I think these coins are gonna go parabolic near the end of the cycle. I think these coins are gonna go absolutely parabolic at the end of the cycle. But I think these newer coins, such as meme coins, such as AI, RWAs, I think these coins are gonna go up during the beginning and the middle of the cycle. Whereas all of these larger coins that you hold, I think they're going to go higher near the end when the ETF is launched. When the Solana ETF is launched, XRP, ADA, all of this. And I think those coins and those ETF is going to come out in one go. I don't think it's going to happen like one by one. I don't think it's going to be like, okay, Solana's coming out in 6 months, then ADA is going to come out in another 6 months, then a Link another 4 or 5 months. I think they're all going to come out in one go. All of them. Mint layer, road to 1000x. I haven't forgotten about you. I haven't forgotten about mid layer. I'm still here and I haven't forgotten. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Slowly but surely, we're heading to 1000x. It looks like we're making a consolidation. The volume has gone massive. It's gone huge. The last time we had this kind of volume was near the beginning of the uptrend, like here. That was the last time. So right now, the whales are stepping back in. People are buying at this region, like a lot of people are buying at this region. So there's a lot of volume. I think we've hit the bottom. Honestly, I think we've hit the absolute bottom. Now, it might age like milk. My next target for mid layer is at 27 cents. Then it's at 34 cents, followed by 42 cents. These are massive, massive resistance. We've unfortunately every time made a dead cat bounce. We made dead cat bounce after dead cat bounce after dead cat bounce. So hopefully what I want to see is mid layer to regain these areas. We need to regain these areas and hopefully get to the $1 mark. We had a vicious drawdown to the downside now. Now to the downside, I think the most confluence is at this area between 18 cents and 14 cents. So put your limit orders at this area. When people have neglected a coin or forgotten about the coin, this is most likely when we see a change in direction. That's it for now. I hope you're having a lovely day. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, and wherever you are, good morning, good evening, good night. Peace.